5 seconds. I can never resist a call from an educational institution because I have been associated with such institutions throughout and have always taken a keen interest in education. I was therefore happy to accept your invitation. It is a pleasure to be in your midst and to confer degrees on many of the students assembled here. You are fortunate indeed to receive education in the Kanya Mahavidyalayas, for this institution occupies an important place in this state and has made a remarkable contribution to the advancement of our women. This institution was founded many years ago by a true social person who was inspired by lofty and sacred ideals of emancipation of women and national advancement, and who had genuine reverence for womanhood. We have in our country two types of educational institutions: those established by our English rulers for the achievement of their own ends, and those founded independently by patriots and nationalists with the view to reviving our civilization and rebuilding our cultural traditions. The Kanya Mahavidyalayas was founded many years ago in pursuance of these sacred ideals, and those of you who are entering life after having completed your education in such an institution are really fortunate. You have obtained this higher degree, of course, but to have done so from this institution should also be a treasure of your life which must add to your laurels. Those of you who have received their degrees are now stepping out of the limited sphere of the Gurukul into the vast arena of life, arena of activity and struggle. You have on your shoulders heavy responsibilities, but I am confident that your experience and education will enable you to bear them with grace. So far you were students, now you will lead a practical life, and you have to march ahead in the face of multifarious problems. I hope the education you have received here will give you strength and energy to face them as responsible citizens of an independent country. But for that you should have a clear picture of what you are going to do in life. I believe you all know that women occupied a position of great importance and dignity in ancient India, that they played an enviable role in domestic and social life and made a splendid contribution to an all-round development of society by virtue of their ingenuity, intellect and sacrifice. I am saying all this to bring home to you that the woman is an incarnation of divinity, a sustainer and creative energy which conduces to the growth and welfare of human society. By virtue of this creative power, you can work in and outside the home for an all-round progress of society. Thus, your responsibility is commensurate with your power. I attach great importance to the education of girls for these and similar reasons. However noble be our ideals and whatever system of government we establish, however liberal and equitable be our economic and social philosophy, we cannot bring lasting peace and prosperity to our country unless the physical and mental makeup of your coming generations has sound foundation. I therefore held that women can play a much more vital role in the home than in the factory or in the office. This, however, does not mean that I want them to be confined within the four walls of the house. Along with their domestic life, they can and should participate successfully in various social activities to which they are naturally and equally entitled. But real freedom and liberty only when that the woman employs will all her faculties not only for her individual development but also for the total development of the society, leading ultimately to the welfare of the humanity at large, wherein it included her individual self also. According to the ancient traditions and lofty ideals of Indian womanhood, you have not only to educate yourself but also to progress thereafter in all direction as the companions of man. After freedom, now you have also to play your part in the work of national reconstruction. This is possible only when we amend our present system of education to suit our people. Here also, our system of education to suit our purpose. Here also, our country is faced with conflicting ideologies. The modern reformists, those who style themselves as progressivists, contend that boys and girls should be educated together under the same system of education. They hold that the woman should be treated on a basis of equality not only in the domain of education but in all fields and walks of life, that she should have complete social freedom and should be able to participate in all activities and occupations as an equal partner of man. These people want that the system of education should also be modeled accordingly. Diametrically opposed is the view of the orthodox camp. Thus, we have today conflicting ideologies regarding the education of women. We have naturally to consider carefully which of these two will suit us better and help in the advancement of our culture and civilization at this time.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.